Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Untold, the show where we have brilliant people talking to us all about their experiences. For today's episode, if you're a constant viewer of the Untold, it's a guest we've had before who has spoken about his adventures. Of course, I'm talking about Anwar Alkhaldi, who's an adventurer who has climbed the highest of peaks, the highest of mountains all over the world. Honestly, we've spoken so much, but the conversation could have gone way longer. We ran out of time, but we decided to bring him back again for another episode to talk all about, his adventures, his mentality, what it takes to go through all of these mountains. If that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned after the break. Thank you for joining us again, and thank you most especially to our guest today for joining us again, Anwar Khaldi. Thank you for coming here again.
Thank you for having me again.
Now, for the viewers who have tuned in, the last time we've interviewed you, we've spoken so much. We didn't get into all of the questions we've had. So we're like, okay, let's do a repeat. Let's do, second stage. Let's do it again. So thank you again. And I want to ask you about something because it's the thing that I'm most interested in. Before we wrapped the previous episode, you highlighted the importance of mentality when taking on preparations to go on adventures, right? You even said it takes 60% of the whole process. So how do you prepare yourself mentally? How do you improve yourself mentally? Like, what does it take?
You have to try yourself. You have to test yourself in order to prepare yourself. You have to know your limits in order to upgrade yourself.
Yeah.
For myself, in my first trip, again, I thought I was ready. I didn't know my limit, so I tested myself. For me, I found out what inspires me and what makes me go to, let's say, I will have limitless achievement. I always think about the people that I love.
Oh, mashallah.
I always think that whatever I achieve, it's not gonna be a self-achievement. It's gonna be their achievement. It's gonna be my control achievement.
Yeah.
That's why I have in my backpack, I attached a flag of Kuwait.
Mashallah.
So every time I get tired, when I took it off, put it in front of me, whenever I feel I'm gonna give up, wherever I feel my body gives me the sign, tells me to give up, the flag will remind me that no, I have to keep moving. So I didn't know that until I tested myself. So my advice is for people, try. You have to take your first step. Start easy. You don't have to go to highest mountain. Start going easy tricks, easy hikes. Test yourself, prepare yourself, and believe me, I'm sure you will not stop. You will take it to a second level and you will go up until reach the top level that you desire.
And I believe we were talking about, you just mentioned briefly the thing about age, and I did mention before that I tried to go on one of these. I signed up for a mountain climb in, I think it was Canada or Alaska, I forgot. And the thing that was so eye-opening to me is that I think we were only 6 or 5 of us registered, and 2 of them were above the age of 60.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you're seeing those people and you see how much they carry themselves, how youthful they look, how energetic, it really gives you an appreciation for trying to keep healthy in life as you grow old.
Exactly. And as you know, let's be honest. Let's speak frankly. Our culture, the way of living, sometimes it forces us to, let's say, reduce our movement. It's
Yeah.
like we always walking, sitting in Duania. Even the weather does not help us to move or walk. That's why we try to encourage people to travel and to at least enjoy traveling by exploring the places where you cannot reach again, either by airplane or car or any means except your legs.
Yeah.
This will move you. This will, okay, let's take it as, let's say, you will enjoy the view. Yeah, let's assume this is your goal, enjoying the view, achieving the goal. On the other hand, you don't know how it will affect even your body.
Yeah.
Because walking, moving, it will affect your body in the good way. So that's why we're trying to teach people, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, and it will pay off. Not now, it will pay off later in the when you get old.
Yeah. And honestly, this reminds me of something you did mention in the previous episode about the altitude sickness you have and the motion type of sickness you have when you're going on these high treks. And it reminded me of when subhanallah, this just to show how the highest of peaks can resemble, the lowest of oceans. So I am a licensed diver, and when I was doing my dives, my instructors, they were a husband and wife. The wife was 76 years old and the husband was 81 years old.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I took my lessons and the first time I saw them, I was struggling with carrying the oxygen tanks and my suit. And then, mashallah, I swear, they just came walking, just breezing through everything, their tanks on them, their weights with them. And I was like, that when you see older people doing stuff that younger people feel like it takes a lot of effort, it really changes the way you look at health.
We always say it's better late than never. Yeah. So believe me, when you reach the age, the younger generation will say the same thing to you. Exactly. So the most important thing is to not stop or to not give up. You have to keep going.
And speaking of keeping going, because you did mention that your next, you're tackling the third peak you have, that's the next phase you have. So what are the specific preparations you're taking for this one in specific?
Okay, let's talk first about Kilimanjaro, the first peak that I've achieved. It's a climb that we didn't do any climbing, or we didn't use any tools or equipment that we used in, for example, in Epirus, where the snow was covering the peak. So it was just a hiking trip. So it was easy. For Epirus, we had to train ourselves how to use the crampons, the spikes shoes.
Oh yeah.
And how to use the hardness, where you put it in your waist and you have to attach yourself to a rope. We used to have trained ourselves to all these things. Going to Aconcagua, which is the mountain in Argentina, the highest mountain in South America, we have been trained before. So because it's a long walk, it's a long hike, and at the top you have to climb it by using all these crampons and hardness. The only thing I have to do is, because it's a long trip, it's about 20 days to reach the top, I have to train myself to walk a long distance. That's why I'm trying to keep myself in shape, taking trips from time to time. And by the way, I'm taking some group next week to Jebel Shams, so you should join us.
I mean, I do wish I could though.
Because this is what I'm trying to do, to convey the message to people that start somewhere. Start easy. Jebel Shams is easy mountain, and you don't have to climb. It's not a steep climb. It's just a long distance. You don't have to walk in a steep path. You have just to have the endorsement to keep going. So again, back to your question, just long walks, trying to train myself how to adapt in different weather changes, because it's gonna be hot, then mild zone, then cold zone, and it's gonna be so windy because the area there known as a windy area. So I have to again train myself. I have to walk with carrying all my full gear, and how to face the strong wind.
And also, speaking of long walks, do you usually train for your thought process during these walks? Because I know for a lot of people, they can walk endlessly And for a lot of people, you know, each footstep, they think about where they're putting their feet, where they're putting their, you know, hands. What are they doing? For some people, they wander off. So where are you in you know, between those kind of people?
Well, in between. I mean, you have to know where you put your feet on or at. And same, on the other hand, sometimes you just
Go off.
go off.
Yeah.
You know, this is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You know, just go off, clear your mind, feel the wind, have an inner peace, you know. So I will say in between.
And so speaking of inner peace, how did this whole, you know, aspect of your life change your perspective on the way you view life?
It changed me completely.
Oh, mashallah.
It changed me completely. It changed me how to solve problems, how to see problems. Changed me how to live my life, how to set a goal. Because going on a trip like this, you have to plan everything.
Yeah.
You have to be full prepared. You have to think about the weather, think about your food, think about your comfort, think about your gear. So it taught me how to be full prepared, how to plan everything before I even take a first step.
It's planning and preparations.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And even when we face some difficulties or challenge, it taught me also how to solve it immediately
Mashallah.
without trying to turn into other people to do it for yourself. So you have to do it yourself. So it made me I would say a better person.
I mean, honestly, a better person is putting mildly, right? Because you're doing something that a lot of people can only dream of.
Yep.
So you're in a very unique position where you can talk about it, you know, endorse it and everything, and people just look at you in awe. So I do want to thank you for that. But we are going to take a very quick break and we'll come right back after this one. Thank you for joining us again, ladies and gentlemen. But most importantly, thank you for being with us, Anwar Alkhaldi. I want to ask about something. Out of all of your treks, out of all of your mountains, what would you say was the most challenging one for you?
Challenging. I would say Mount Elbrus
Oh, okay.
in Russia, the highest mountain in Europe, because it was my first experience to use the compounds, the spikes.
The spikes.
Yeah, it was difficult. We had a training there, and we had to train how to walk a step in front of the other step, walking like that. We had trained how to use the ice axe, just in case if falling down, how to use it to stop yourself, and how even to climb the mountain. The altitude was kind of difficult. It is 5,600 something. It was difficult for me because we had a storm in the way up. The way up.
It's like on hard mode.
It was in hard mode. The weather was nice. It was good. Usually when you're in the summit bush, the day that you want to reach the top, usually we start early morning, like 2 or 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Because the weather will be cool down. So it was nice until 10 a.m. and the wind was so strong, and it was just like a 400 meters to reach the top.
Oh, and that's where the storm.
Yeah. So it took us 6 hours to walk, and we were in between either to turn and go back or spend 45 minutes in a storm and to reach to the top and achieve your goal.
And so in that moment, you know, how do you decide which one you take?
Here's a moment when the planning has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like an incident that you have to take a decision right away. Either for myself, either the adventurer who wants to achieve the goal, or let's say the normal person who wants to be safe and get back safe to his family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was difficult decisions, to be honest with you.
I can only imagine, yeah.
Yeah. We decided to carry on.
MashaAllah.
But in very precautious way. And alhamdulillah, luckily, we reached there. and we celebrated. And the way back was difficult.
Oh, how was the way back difficult?
Because the storm was so strong. It's usually when you go up, when you climb up, you can't control yourself.
Yeah.
You know, going down, it's difficult
Because you're out of everything.
Exactly. I mean, because if you fall, if your legs just slipped, you'll be just like.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, again, we made it. We made it.
Alhamdulillah.
We made it.
And it's funny that you bring this point because I was, again, I mentioned before that I saw this documentary about a climber who I forgot. And then they also said that you use all of what you have to reach the peak of the mountain. But a lot of people don't take into account you still have 8,000,
Yep.
elevation to get down.
Yeah.
And so the journey doesn't end once you reach there. You're only halfway through there.
So when you reach the top and feel the happiness at the top by reaching your goal, you won't feel the tiredness on the way down. This is me. So I know it's a long way. All the things that I mentioned will matter, but my body will be filled of happiness.
Yeah.
So I won't feel the tiredness. I will feel it the next day. For sure.
Yeah.
But in the same moment, no, it's gonna be different.
Yeah, and also you say that because even biologically, a lot of people who are going on the climb, there's an adrenaline pump. So whenever they are at the top, their adrenaline is at the peak.
Yeah.
And so whenever they're calming down and they want to go down, their adrenaline is out. So that's where reality hits. That's why everything seems slowed down to you.
Exactly. And as I mentioned, because in a summit bush day, we have to start very early.
Yeah.
Like again, 1, 2 a.m.
MashaAllah.
So you'll be, that's why they try to let us sleep early in order to get energized. Some people, they can't sleep, myself included. So you have to save your energy to go to the summit. Usually the hardest day is the summit bush day because of the steepness of the peak.
Yeah.
So you will face tiredness, you'll face altitude, and you will face again the mental part.
It's everything against you.
Everything against you.
Yeah.
And it's you and the mountain.
MashaAllah.
And I will let me ask you, what would you do in this moment?
I mean, honestly, I could never imagine to answer that question truthfully because I think if you're not in there, you'll never know the answer.
Exactly.
Like
Remember when you asked me how to turn yourself mentally, I told you, you have to try yourself.
Yeah.
You have to know your limit in order to enhance it. So this is exactly what happened to me.
I mean, and honestly, I'm so glad that you found your limits and then you knew how to overcome them, right? Because you said that those last 45 minutes towards the peak of the mountain is where the storm came and everything came down, and then you decided to push on. So that just speaks highly of your mental fortitude.
Exactly, and I'm trying to again convey this message to people. Don't let anything stop you.
Yeah.
Again, in the safe way.
Yeah.
Not even a physical thing, mental thing, or anything. If you put a goal into your mind, there's nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
You can reach it. It's all, again, it's you who can stop yourself.
Right. Yeah.
It's you against you.
And it's all about preparations.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there's a very famous saying by construction workers: measure twice, build once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead, and then just trek it once.
And there's nothing wrong to ask experts.
Yeah.
To get advice. I did in the beginning. I let me be honest with you. I was trying to do things solo. I couldn't. I turned to some expert. I got some advices, and I encourage people to do the same.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with asking a question. This is why I always do. Some people, they always ask me, and I will tell them, ask again, ask again. There's nothing wrong with it.
And I'm glad that you bring up this point because I do want to ask you, what are some common mistakes that a lot of beginners do in this kind of field?
Think of themselves highly.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy.
Enemy number one.
Yeah, exactly. Yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
not asking people about the right gear. Overconfidence, I would say. Sometimes overconfidence will hit you in the first day. So the common mistake is doing things solo without asking experts, not getting the right gear.
Yeah.
Because again, picking your hiking shoes is number one mistake. If you don't know how to choose it, you will never reach to any goal.
Yeah.
For example, we always tell them, please try to choose hiking shoes can cover your ankle. It will prevent it from any dirt, any rocks will go inside your feet. We always tell them, please try to get bigger size, like 1 or 1.5, because when you go downhill, your feet will slide, and if it's in the right size, then all your toes will hit the shoes, and it will hurt you. Try to break it before you take it to the trip, in order to know whether it's suitable for you or not. So all of this, I will sum it up by saying, ask the experts in order to avoid all these mistakes.
And so, have you, at the beginning, did you make those mistakes? Did you have like super high confidence, super high ego and everything? Or like, how were you in the beginning stages?
I would not say confidence, but I try to, again, do things by myself. I didn't know about the bigger size shoe issue until it hits me. I didn't know about the cotton and the wool thing until I had blasters which almost ended my trip in the first day. Suddenly, I just turned to experts. I tried to do some homework. I tried to search more in order to avoid all of these things. Again, I'm saying this because to avoid people doing these mistakes, to avoid them, or to save them time. Okay, gentlemen, ladies, we've done this. Please, here where you start, and this is the way you do it. I can show you the path, but you have to walk it yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the best approach to everything, right? You always want to hold people's hand to a certain point, but then just let them discover their own path.
Exactly, totally.
And speaking of discovering your own path, if again, this is going to be my last questions because we are reaching the end of the episode. If you were to go back through all of this, is there something you'd change, or have you stayed on a good goal-oriented path so far?
I will start early.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I can't start late because I had some priorities in my life. I mean, I'm not saying that I regret it, no, but I set some priorities in my life in order to complete. And after that, I started my journey in hiking and adventure and let's say peak achievement. But if I would change anything, I would say I will start in my early age.
Yeah. Well, there's, and I hate to always bring sayings and stuff, but there's something environmentalists say is that, 30 years ago would have been the best time to start worrying about climates. The second best time is now. Yeah. So it's never too late to start something.
Exactly.
And honestly, you've done more than enough for saying that you started, late. You've done achievements people can only dream of. With that in mind, I do want to thank you for sitting with us again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. And I'm really glad to be here. And I'm glad that I shared some stories with you, and looking forward for people to start this kind of adventures.
Well, you did mention 2 adventures you're going to go on soon, so I do wish you utter safety, enjoyment, and taking all precautions. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
With that in mind, dear viewers, we are going to take a very quick break, and we'll come right back after this one. With that, it's the end of today's episode of The Untold. The highest of mountains, spoken about, the highest of peaks we've mentioned, couldn't come close to the amount of entertainment I've had talking with Anwar. He's a very informative person to talk to. He has endless stories. His adventures bring warmth to my heart. It's always a pleasure to talk about these travelers, these explorers, and to talk all about their experiences. Unfortunately, that's all of us from the Untold. But until the next one, goodbye for now.